Hey there, sports fans and car enthusiasts! Welcome to the channel! Alright, guys, it's kind of the middle of winter, or maybe a little bit past the middle of winter. It's February, or maybe late January when we're actually filming this, but by the time you're watching this, it's probably February 1st, maybe February 2nd, depending on when I post it. It's dreary out there, it's cold, it's dark, there's a lot of bad news in the world, so I think we all need a little bit of a laugh. And Mrs. Blast from the Past is here with me, and we're going to share a little bit of those laughs with you by looking at some of the funniest baseball cards we've come across so far. I'm excited about this one. Are you?
I'm quite excited.
I know she's been helping me collect these over the past couple months and put these together for this special episode. So let's get into it. All right, folks, so let's have a laugh. We have a whole bunch of funny baseball cards here to show you guys. We've split these into several categories. I'm just going to read these off right now. We're going to start off with mean mugs. Then, faces only a mother could love. After that, what's going on here? Strange images and background action. Followed up by Mr. Photogenic. These are just strange cards captured with faces captured at odd positions. All in a name which has several subcategories to it. Following up with accessories included, and then showing off the Holy Grail of funny baseball cards at the very end. Stay tuned for that. Well, let's start right off with, we're going to start off with mean mugs, and these are just, I think, 2 or 3 cards here. There are a lot of cards you could pick from, and I typically don't like to make fun of people's faces too much, or, although we're going to be doing that a little bit later in the next category with some pretty iconic standout cards. But for these are just, I think 3 of them that I pulled where these are some mean mugs. They were caught making faces in that look like they're about ready to open up a can of whoop ass. We'll start off with 1977 Topps Cliff Johnson there. He does
not like that catcher one bit.
He does not like that catcher. Maybe not the call, but he's looking at the catcher, isn't he?
He is.
I think he's got some past history with that catcher. So there he is, Cliff Johnson, mean mug number 1. Mean mug number 2, 1979 Topps, Al Cowens.
He means business.
He definitely means business. He wants to hit the ball directly into your head. You can just see it. He's looking into your soul. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's looking directly into your soul. So there's number 2. Number 3, this could also go into the category of faces only a mother could love, but wow, Warren Brustar. That is a face I do not want to meet in a dark alley. Not even a lighted alley.
I imagine that he's actually like snarling.
He has that grunting look to him, like I think he has rabies.
Yeah, that and kind of the 80s bully vibe.
He does have an 80s bully vibe. He's going to steal your bicycle and your lunch money.
And call you a nerd.
Yeah. Warren Brustar, 79 Topps. All right, well, moving on to another category. Faces only a mother could love. And we're going to start off with one of the grand icons, known as Mr. Unibrow himself. He is the best unibrow in the business. This is from 1962 Topps, Wally Moon. You don't get a better unibrow than that.
He's not unattractive underneath the eyebrows.
He's not.
He looks like Liev Schreiber a little bit.
He does look like Liev Schreiber, yeah. Wally Moon, there are so many cards of him throughout the 1960s with sporting this amazing unibrow. Others have come close. You could even say Warren Brustar, going back to him, could be a competitor. But he's got a little bit of a break in his. There are some other great unibrows out there, but for what it's worth, Wally Moon is the clear and away winner of the unibrow category. Best hair in the business, well, that clearly goes to Oscar Gamble in his 1976 Topps traded card when he was traded to the Yankees.
That is a fantastic card.
That is the best fro I have ever seen. And this is also another iconic card. People love to collect this one just because of how great it is. I mean, I'm not even sure how he keeps that hat on. He's got to have rubber bands to keep it on, right?
And the hat hair at the end of the day has got to be hilarious.
Oh, it's got to be. Yeah. It's got to be a 3-part clown pose. But, I mean, Oscar Gamble, he had quite a few cards where he had some big hair in it. He was also a great player, too. So Not to take anything away, but I mean, Samson for sure, because his power was his hair. Follow it up with a Seth Rogen wannabe from 1982 Donruss, Jim Kern. You can almost hear the and he clearly looks a little baked in this too.
He does indeed.
Like he's not sure why he became a baseball player, or if he knows he's a baseball player there. 1982 Donruss, Jim Kern could be Seth Rogen's father.
Could be.
Might be. All right. Got to go with Mr. Giraffe next. Steve Buchel, 1988 Fleer. That neck is, I mean, I haven't seen a neck that long in years. But I always laugh at this card when I come across it. I have a whole box of 1988 Fleer, and every time I come across the Steve Buchel card, I can't help but giggle a little bit because it just makes me laugh. So, Mr. Giraffe neck.
Oh my gosh.
Now we're going to go into the, I'm sorry I have to do this. I really don't want to do this, but there are some not photogenic folks out there. I won't call them ugly. I'm going to call them not photogenic. 1966 Topps Don Mossy. Again, Don Mossy has several cards out there where this face that only a mother could love. But this one is probably the best of the bunch. Again, this is another iconic card that people love to show all the time. It comes up in all kinds of lists of the funny baseball cards that are out there. I mean, those ears.
I can't look away. And, I mean, what year was this again? Sorry?
1966.
So really, he looks like my grandfather. Like, just really long ears, big nose, who was, like, in his 70s when I was young. But this being the 60s, this guy was probably, 42?
No, not even that. I believe it. Let's see. Let's see if we can find out. Don Mossy was born in 39. This is 66. So,
jeez.
Yeah, that's not even. He's in his 30s here. It's not.
Wow.
That's not even. He's what, 36 there, 37 maybe. That is an unfortunate face. Another unfortunate face. Actually, it's not. Normally, Ed Lynch doesn't look this bad, but for whatever reason, the triple chin Ed Lynch card from 1987 Topps is another iconic card. I got to give a shout out to the Past is Alive channel, who every time he comes across this card, clowns on Ed Lynch. Every time I see them go through an 87 Topps pack, the clowning begins on Ed Lynch. Again, Ed Lynch, he's not a bad looking guy. It's just one of those very unfortunate photos that why he decided to look down with his neck muscles first, I'm not sure.
No, I suspect, do the players get to green light the pictures that they choose? Like,
I don't think so. Not always.
Can you like upset the photographer and then they use the card to despite you?
I mean, possibly, but I halfway wonder if it's intentional because I know Ed Lynch had a kind of penchant for practical jokes, so maybe this was his way of getting into it. And lastly, in this category, I got to go with the 1991 Score Chipper Jones rookie card, draft pick card. For a couple of reasons. This is, colloquially known as the meat sweats card. If you look really closely, they took this photo with Chipper Jones just dripping in sweat, and the back is even more obvious here. I mean, that looks like a man that just got back from a Brazilian steakhouse and is just dripping the meat sweats. It's again, another card that's iconic, that's pointed out all the time. Chipper Jones is not this bad looking of a guy at all. He's actually a quite handsome gentleman. But for whatever reason, this card,
and the expression doesn't help.
Yeah. Imagine, you being, a teenager or, a child in 1991, opening up a pack of 1991 Score and coming across this guy you didn't know was a future Hall of Famer. And looking at this card and being like, who the hell is this guy? Because that's what a lot of us thought back then. We looked at this card and we're like, well, this guy's going nowhere. How wrong we were, but my God, the meat sweats cards. All right, we're going to scoot some of these aside here and go into our next category. We'll just go quickly through these. These are just some interesting photos. This is the category, what's going on here? Strange images and background action. We'll start with what the hell is going on in the background of this 1985 Al Cowens Fleer card. There's a guy clearly falling into his body from behind, it looks like, but it looks like somebody tripping behind him. You always wonder how certain cards got greenlit, and that's certainly one of them. Again, not the funniest card out there, but I always laughed whenever I opened this one, so.
I assume that somebody's like throwing behind him, but I guess it could be somebody falling.
Oh, it does mean always look like tripping, but you actually that might be right. It could be throwing, and actually
Yeah.
that might be a baseball right there. I don't know if
Yeah.
cards can see it, so you might be right, but it's still an interesting.
There is a tripping hazard with the bat on the ground.
There is a
I
tripping
will
hazard.
point that out.
Well, here's an unfortunate juxtaposition: 1982 Fleer Ricky Keaton. If you look really close, that is a big yellow member there. That's about as nicely as I can put it. That juxtaposition led to a lot of comments in my youth growing up. This was a sought after card among my friends for the obvious reason of, let's just say, penis envy. And I believe that is was that his rookie card? It is, yeah, I think that it maybe his second year card. But yeah, 82 Flair, Ricky Keaton, unfortunate juxtaposition. Moving on, 1979 Topps, Jerry Royce. Where the hell's his arm?
Where did his arm go? Oh no.
He looks like a one-handed pitcher. You can clearly see, though, that just the tip of his glove is visible on the backside there, so you know his arm is behind his back in a somewhat pitcher's pose, although that's not really a pitcher's stance, even though he was a good pitcher. It just is one of those ones that when you opened a pack of these or came across this card in whatever capacity, you just thought this was the one-armed man. So Jerry Royce, one-armed man. Moving on to 1993 Topps, we have Kevin Mitchell when he played for the Mariners. Looks like he's catching a ball. I don't know if he's on the on-deck circle or what happened, but that is a kind of a cool in-action shot, but also we're really wondering, like, what's going on here. Really not much more to say about that, just one I added to the list here. We're going to go to 1973 Topps and go with Tito Fuentes. If you look closely in the background, I mean, it's a normal action card, but it almost looks like there's either a fight going on or a wrestling match or something that's going on. It was definitely a good in-action shot, but rather than being a bang-bang baseball play, it looks like some sort of fiasco has happened or a fight's about to break out. Not sure.
I don't feel like this card adequately features Tito because I have no idea which one he's supposed to be. I mean, I know he's supposed to be second base, but there's just a lot going on here.
Tito, I think,
and there's a bum in the foreground. By the way, I just want to point out
there is.
Like they couldn't crop that.
Apparently not. Tito, I believe, is the runner, number 23 there. So because he played for the Giants, there's a Giants there. So, but yeah, Tito Fuentes. Not sure what's going on there. We're gonna move to pro cards from 1988. 1988. This is another iconic card. Keith Comstock taking a ball to the meat sack. Why this card got greenlit, I'll never know. I think this is probably another one of those joke cards like, hey, let's take a photo of me for my baseball card with me getting hit in the nuts. And that one just made it through with whatever. But being a little kid growing up living in Las Vegas and getting Las Vegas Stars cards, who were the AAA affiliate then to the San Diego Padres, this was on one card that always made us giggle quite often. So Keith Comstock taking one for the team. Speaking of what's going on is the 1989 score, Paul Gibson. It has nothing to do with Paul Gibson himself, but look in the background. You'll see some guy adjusting his cup there. This one got so much attention that they actually made this was considered an error card. They actually made a new version of it where it's just whited out. Poorly whited out, I might add, but whited out. You can still kind of see in the corrected version kind of what's going on, so they didn't really fix that much, but this was always one that made us laugh as well.
That's funny.
All right. So there we go. There are what's going on here. Now let's look at some Mr. Photogenic cards. Again, there's a little bit of what's going on here in some of these as well, but we're going to start off with a couple of AAA cards, which I don't know what the Tacoma Tigers back in 1991 were doing when they took a lot of their cards. These are just two examples of several of their cards where it looked like the entire team decided to say, hey, let's take action baseball cards where it looks like we don't know how to play baseball. Like this guy, Bruce Walton, looks like he's casting a wizard spell.
Yeah, I was going to say, he looks like he's wizarding, not throwing a ball.
I think he belongs in the world of Harry Potter, whereas I'm not even sure what Apolinar Garcia is doing, because that is not how you throw a ball. Maybe he's doing handball.
It looks like he's batting it away. Like, no.
Yeah.
Take it away.
So a couple of these always made me laugh as well. But pretty much, if you go check out these cards, I can't remember what these were. These were Impel. They were minor league. Oh, Pacific Coast League baseball league cards from 1991. Check out the Tacoma Tigers team because there's a lot of historical cards in there, and actually quite a few throughout the whole set as well. But those were quite interesting. Moving on, Tim Stoddard clearly doesn't want to be here anymore. Oh, do I have to run another mile?
I mean, we've all felt like that. I feel you, Tim.
I know. Oh, I don't want to pitch today. Jack Howell looks like the... kind of looks to me a little bit like the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy. You're never going to catch me.
He does look very cheeky.
He seems very, very happy to have just gotten away or maybe just gotten a hit. I'm not sure, but Jack Howell. And yeah, I will say Fleer has a penchant for having some of the best cards. Sammy Stewart's, hey,
look at that guy.
Trying to be the Fonz. He's very happy to be sitting there taking this picture of this baseball card.
Excellent.
Check you later.
Good
All right.
Sammy.
Another funny one, 83 Fleer, John Grupp. I don't know why this card makes me laugh. There's nothing intrinsically wrong about it. It's just he's got his little cup there of, I don't know if you can see it, but it is, I'm trying to make that there. Probably not going to see it there. The cup says Ranger Aid, which I'm sure is some sort of Gatorade variant. But he's sitting in the dugout very happy, like somebody just told the funniest joke to him. I don't know why. I just included it here because that card always makes me laugh. All right, quick cough there. Quick hit of the camera as well. We're going to move on to Glamour Pose, 1985 Topps Gary Pettis.
Somebody's going to prom. This is a senior picture for sure.
That is the prom picture of 1985 for sure. I always loved this photo, loved this card when I was a kid. He's ready for his close-up. And then lastly in this category, 1988 Fleer again, Kent Tekulve is clearly telling us where the ball goes. Hey, the ball goes in the glove, guys.
What is up with that face?
That is another face, almost a mother below. But love that card as well. All right. Moving on, folks. We're going to go to the names category. All in a name. We're going to start off with, there's 3 subcategories to this we're going to go into. I'm going to start with the first one with brand names. Everybody knows Cocoa Crisp, the best cereal, and one of the best players in the game. Cocoa Crisp, I believe this is from 2006. 2006 Topps. Following Cocoa Crisp is another brand name from 2007 Topps. Milton Bradley. Makers of the best board games in the business. All right. Some other fun names here. Better be sure you're a good fielder if your name is Mickey Klutz. I don't know. Mickey Klutz. He was around for a while, though, so he stuck it out. One of the first things that professional ball players get asked all the time when they make it to the majors is, are you rich yet? I hope he's rich. That is a great name. That is a great name to have for a professional athlete. Rich yet? I don't know. You tell me. All right, moving on from Rich Yet to 1950. Is it 7 Topps? No, 58 Topps. 1958 Topps Granny Hammer.
Granny Hammer.
It's actually Granny Hamner, but you can't say it. You just have to say Granny Hammer. Not sure what a Granny Hammer is, but that's always a name that tickled me every time I came across it. 1958 Topps Granny Hammer, second baseman for Philadelphia Phillies. Now we move on to the not safe for work category of unfortunate baseball names. We're going to start off with 2 that are interconnected. We're going to go with a Topps Heritage from 2012, Doug Fister, mixed with a 2011 Topps Charlie Furbush. Fun fact, these 2 were actually once traded for each other. I'm not even kidding. The Mariners traded, I believe it was Charlie Furbush to the Tigers for Doug Fister, or is it backwards? It might have been, actually I think that's correct the first way. I could be mistaken on that. But anyway, these 2 were involved in a multiplayer trade in which Furbush was traded for Fister. How funny is that? Moving on, we have some other great names for you. I mean, when you're running into third, And you're feeling the turd. Steve Sharts.
Oh, man. Elementary school was hard for that guy.
Elementary school had to have been hard for him. Steve Sharts with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons from 1990. Minor league card there. Steve Sharts. Dick Pole. 1976 tops. I mean, he has not one, but two words for a member of the male anatomy.
Indeed.
Dick Pole.
Dick Pole.
Not much more you can say about that one. Pronounce this name any way you want, folks.
This is my favorite. Rusty Cunts.
I mean, it's actually pronounced Rusty Coons, but...
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Rusty. I will never...
Sorry, folks.
I will never forget when I was helping you in the book with all the different, what do you call that?
Price guide.
The price guide. And when I first came across the name Rusty Kuntz, I fell out laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's my favorite.
So I would believe Rusty Kuntz is a trap. And lastly, we follow up a 1977 tops. Pete Lecoq. Spanish for the cock. Some great names in baseball, folks. And our second to last category now, we're going to come into 4 cards in which I will just call these accessories included. These are all Fleer cards, 2 1988s and 2 1984s. Again, like I said before, Fleer was known for having some of the strangest cards in the business. We'll start with 1988 Fleer. Tim Flannery, who felt the need to bring his surfboard to the show.
Yeah, you can tell he's one of those guys who started taking lessons and then decided that was his personality for a little while. And I can just imagine how his two teammates kind of like rolled their eyes when he came in that day with his surfboard.
Probably.
Hey, guys.
I mean, but San Diego is a great place to surf. So, I mean, there is some justice in that. We're going to move to 1984 Fleer. Jay Johnstone, during the rainout, made his own Budweiser umbrella hat. Or bought that. I'm not sure where he got that.
He did not make that.
I don't know if he did make it or not, but he is sporting a Budweiser umbrella hat in his 1984 Fleer baseball card. I mean, there's some amazing goodness going on there. All right, moving back to 1988 Fleer, we're going to go with Ken Daly, who can't figure out which glove he should use or which hand he should use it with. Ken Two Gloves Daly.
A pitcher should not need to. It's going to make his job much harder.
It would.
I'm just saying.
I can see a poor fielding infielder needing 2 gloves, but...
yeah, if his position was a catcher or, outfield, yeah, that's fine.
And what's going on at the bottom there? Is that a ruler? That's the first time I think I've noticed that.
I think he's leaning against one of those guardrails.
Oh, okay. Just a weird juxtaposition all around on that one.
So that's the word I was
looking. Yeah. And one of the Holy Grails of all-time funny cards that we're going to go with 1984 Fleer, Glenn Old Mother Hubbard, sporting the giant boa constrictor while the Philly fanatic in the background looks on with awe or fear. Again, this is one of those all-time iconic cards. Hey guys, check out my snake. Want to see me feed it? Oh, Glenn, we will always love you for bringing your snake to the stadium for this baseball card shoot, because it is one of the best cards of all time. And lastly, that leads us to, speaking of Holy Grail time, the all-time funniest, best baseball card ever is the iconic 1989 Fleer Billy Ripken F-Face. Can't really say the word. I mean, I could say it. You can probably read it on there, although I can't really get it there. I'm sorry for the poor visibility on the card there. If I do it back here and do it, can you maybe read it? No, probably not.
I'm sure they probably know.
Anybody who knows this card knows what it says. It says, I'm just going to say it. It says, fuckface, right there, written on his bat handle. This card made it into distribution, made the rounds, and people freaked the F out about this card. Mothers snatched it away from their children. Letters were written from churches. This created a literal S-storm around baseball. So Fleer rushed to put out several versions of corrections. There are all kinds of... This is one of the, I'd say, mid-level corrections, which the initial error card itself is around about 100 or so bucks. This is one of the variation corrections that is, I'd say, around worth about 30 to 50 bucks. I can't remember. If you get, I believe it's just the whiteout edition where they just whited it out. I think that's the most rare one. There's other ones where it looks like they've just inked it out. I think there's a red line one. There's about 4 or 5 different variations where they had several runs of trying to correct this to varying degrees of success. But this is my kind of double card version there of the original and one of the corrections there as well. One of the iconic cards of all time, one of the best error cards of all time, one of the funniest cards of all time, unless you are, a church-going person who swears that they don't swear. I can see why you might be offended by that one, but for most of us in the baseball card collecting community, this was considered one of the Holy Grails. So there you go, folks. Hopefully you got a kick out of those. These are some of the funniest cards in baseball I've come across. I know there are plenty more out there. Please list in the comments funny cards you felt that I left off this list, or maybe I didn't have to show off here. Tell us your favorites of your own. And any last words, Mrs. Blast from the Past?
No, this is fun. I hope that there are more fun ones that we can revisit another time.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. Enjoy. Please be sure to like and subscribe. We'll try and do, maybe if we can, pull together some more funny cards as we come across them. They may not be as good as this one, but we'll definitely put them aside every time we come across it. Until then, take care. Thanks for watching.